Okay, this is the slab for it's going to be Eagle Carport's metal garage, metal workshop. It's no different than a Cardinal or some of the other places that have these metal workshops. They're all basically the same material. So mine is going to be a 26 long, which is actually 25 because they count a 6-inch overhang on front and back. So they call it a 26 by 24, but it's actually, the actual structure is 25 by 24. So it's 25 feet to the back, 24 feet across. And what I got, and what I did is I did my slab the exact dimension of the workshop. So the metal, it's about a 1/4 inch short on from front to back and side to side. That way the sheet metal, the corrugated metal, can overlap the slab for about an inch, and I don't have to worry about water intrusion. Now another option is to do a step down ledge around it, and another option is to do a slope. So there's several different ways you can go to try and keep water out. This is the route I went, and I'll show you what I did. I did aprons on the where the garage doors go. So this is where an 8-foot door is going to go. It's still got the form board, but basically the garage door, it's a 2x6 that I put here, and the garage door is going to go down into the cavity, into the apron, and there's no way that water can get back up into my garage through underneath the garage doors. These garage doors do not seal. I've had a couple of these buildings, and they don't seal really well at the bottom. So you have to do something to ensure that the water doesn't, wind-blown rain doesn't get underneath your garage. So that's the route I went, and I'll show you what I did up here. So this is the end of the workshop slab here, and so what I did is, this is where my driveway, I have a 20-foot long driveway that goes out, and the driveway actually slopes an 1/8 inch per foot. But what I did here is, this is a 2x6 form board, and I dropped down to a 2x4 form board, and I used a 2x4 to gauge the height difference. So this is about 1.5 inches, which is about the thickness of a 2x4, and so I have the ledge that goes all the way across between my garage and the driveway, and there's another apron here up there in the middle, and that's where a 10-foot wide garage door is going to go, and it's centered. So it's the same apron. And I also have a expansion joint between my garage slab and my driveway slab. So this is my 2x4 form board for my driveway. Step down, and I'll show you what I did to form that up. I got a good example right here. So what I did is I just laid this, I have a 2x4 that I laid flat just like it is here, across that lip that goes across the front. So this laid flat, and of course, you know, this is the height of the driveway on the underside, and this is the height of the garage even with the top. And so I came down, and what I did is I used a 2x6 here. This is the apron for my centered garage door on the front. So it's a 2x6. I just attached it with some, spliced in some pieces of wood, little pieces of 2x4 to hold it up on the back side. And on the front side, what I did is I used metal stakes, and I put them in about a 1/2 inch under the front lip, and I screwed them in a couple spots to keep this front lip from dipping down. And I did lift up just a little bit on it on the back side so that it sloped out towards the driveway, and I wouldn't have a puddle of water towards the back of the apron. And what they'll do is, after they form the concrete and it stiffens just a little bit, they'll go ahead and dig a little hole out where the stakes are that held the backside, and they'll just hit those down into the concrete and then cover it back over it and smooth it. So you won't even know that those stakes that were screwed into the back side of this form board were ever there. So that's how I built that lip right there. It's pretty simple. It just took some time to get everything right. I'm fortunate enough to have access to a survey scope, so I was able to level everything really well. It's square within about half inch to a 1/4 inch, about 3/8 of an inch in square. So I'm out just a tad, but that's no big deal. They can make that up when they put the shop up. This is a smooth finish, because I'll probably do an epoxy coating on the garage floor. The other is a light broom finish. I let him let that concrete stiffen up quite a bit before I had him do the broom finish up here, because I have kids and they play around and I don't want them falling on something really, really rough. And also, I'll be laying on it and working on vehicles and everything else, changing oil, so I don't want it to be too rough. So that's pretty much it. That's how I formed it up, and that's the slab. I have a time-lapse video of some of the concrete being poured and then working it. I guess cost-wise, I know a lot of people are going to be curious. Again, this is a 24 by 25 slab. It ended up being deeper than I thought. I did everything by hand. I used a side cutter. I rented a side cutter. It cost me 40 bucks for 4 hours. I cut the side, returned it, rolled it up. Some of the side I gave away for free because I had way too much and I didn't know what to do with it. So I gave it away for free. I posted an ad. I had several people who wanted to come get it. And so the side cutter cost me $40. I dug out by hand about 2 more inches. So the side cutter went down 2 inches. I dug out another 2 inches. Then I had 20 yards of fill sandy clay brought in, which is a very large triple axle dump truck load. Spread that by hand. Then I came back on top of that after I compacted it as best I could with the tamper. I just used this hand tool right here to do the dirt. And so then I came back with 10 yards, which is about 8 tons or 9 tons of crushed concrete, and I put about a 2-inch layer of crushed concrete on top of the sandy clay base that I put down. And then from there, my thought was to have about a 5.5-inch slab. It actually turned out to be quite a bit more. I calculated 18 to 20 yards. It actually took 24 yards of concrete to do this slab. So I have it's a lot thicker, quite a bit thicker than I wanted it to be, but on the other hand, it's a whole lot stronger. Probably got about 6.5 inch, 6 to 7 inch slab back here, and between a 4 and 4.5 inch slab up front for the driveway. I got rebar, I got mesh in the back. I got a shallow footer around the perimeter. The front doesn't have anything. It's just a driveway. It's thick. It's 4.5. It's probably 5 inches in some places, so I'm not worried about that. So that's about it. Now, cost forming boards, the mesh, and all the stakes. Probably looking. I think it was about $500 for all the stuff to form the concrete and get it ready. The dirt, a load of the dirt was $170 for the 20 yards of fill sandy clay, and another $275 for the crushed concrete. So then the concrete crew, I have a friend who builds houses, so I had all the work done. A concrete crew came in and did the pour for me and finished it for me, and that was $700 for just labor. I did all other work. And then the concrete was $105 a yard, and like I said, it was 24 yards. It was right at $2,640, I think, after tax for the concrete. So I guess if you add all that up, then that's about what you're looking at if you do the work yourself like I did. But I like doing my own work. I know it's right. It's the way I want it. It was formed up exactly how I wanted it. I'm happy with it. So this is how I chose to go. Now, if I would have paid somebody to do all the work for me, I would guess, looking at about double the cost of this slab. Because like this slab it's about 46 feet long by 24 feet wide. So and if you look up what they charge per square foot to build these slabs, I think you'll see that it would have cost substantially more. And that's just the cost to do the slab, form it up, and do the pour and all that, and all the materials. That wouldn't include the dirt work, to have somebody come in with equipment to do the dirt work and the crushed concrete and spread all that stuff. So for me, it's much more economical. I got to do the work myself, which for me is kind of rewarding, and it's also exactly the way I wanted it. Everything was formed up exactly how I wanted it. My garage doors are exactly where I want them, so that's just what I prefer to do. So that's the slab. I will do a time-lapse video of the actual building being installed, and I'll do a final video on the building itself. But I wanted to do this and show some people who might be DIYers like me some ideas on how to do the slab for one of these buildings. Form it up for your garage doors. It's an option. You don't have to do it this way. It's just the way I chose to do it with the garage door aprons and such. So I hope it helps somebody. I'll be posting more videos on this project as it moves along. Thanks for watching.